Decision to do a Roth or a traditional IRA or 401k often comes down to a bunch of factors, but a few common ones are your income tax bracket, where you plan to live in retirement, your age, things like that. But whether or not to take advantage of a backdoor Roth IRA has a lot less to do with that. And here's why. You are not giving up a deferral, a pre-tax deferral, if you take advantage of a mega backdoor Roth IRA. And here's why that's the case. Most 401ks allow you to do what's called a mega backdoor Roth IRA. And the way that you do that is you make what are called after-tax voluntary contributions to your 401k plan, and then immediately convert those after-tax voluntary contributions to Roth dollars. Now, when you contribute to a 401k, there's a few different types of contributions. You're going to be making employee elective deferrals. These can be pre-tax or Roth. And you can go up to the annual limit, which is, like $23,500, I think, this year. It's somewhere in there. Your employer is going to do either a match or a profit sharing contribution, something like that. So, on top of that, we'll call it $23,500. Say they do $10,000. So now you've done $33,500. Now, the overall limit for 401ks is actually much higher than that. It's $70,000, or roughly about $70,000, depending on catch-ups and so forth. If your plan allows for after-tax voluntary contributions, you can contribute up to that difference, the difference between $70,000 and the $33,500 that we've put in our plan, in our example, as after-tax voluntary contributions. You can make $36,500. Somebody check my math. I don't know. Somewhere in there, in after-tax voluntary contributions, immediately convert them to Roth. Those are contributions that you couldn't make any other way. So it's not as if you're giving up a deferral somewhere else. And if you're making the contribution, we're assuming you would have saved the money anyway in perhaps a taxable brokerage account. So you might as well make the contribution and the growth tax-free forever versus putting it in a taxable brokerage account. There's really not that much of a downside. There might be, nitty-gritty downsides like access to funds, so forth. But we're assuming that you want to save more money. You're not giving up any deferral. It's a no-brainer from that standpoint. So don't be afraid to look into mega backdoor Roth IRAs, even if you're in a very high tax bracket, especially if you're in a high tax bracket.